Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Oh, it's been a long day. I'm like relaxed. And I'm almost afraid to say this. This is not going to be a long This is not going to be a long vlog tonight. Because I have to listen to a lot of my audiobook tonight. I have to, because I have to finish it for the book club. Because the book club is a week from tomorrow, and I have the reading rush all this week. So I have to finish, because I want to, listen, I want to start my audio, listen people. Don't ever call people. I had this teacher in 5th grade, oh, she was so mean. Her name doesn't matter, but anyway, she knows who she is. She's not watching my vlog, I'm sure. But I was gonna say it again. I've had the giggles tonight. Okay, she was so mean, and she would call us people, and she would say, people. You do not call 10-year-olds people. That is so cruel, okay? I've told the story on my main channel, my drama channel before, but I don't think I've told it over here. I don't know why I call that my main channel. But anyway, I think the channel that most people know me from or whatever, but I would get in trouble with this teacher. I got in trouble for talking a lot when I was in school, me and my girlfriends. And this teacher, so like she would like always like look at me and she'd be like, Peter, are you talking? And I would be like, no, it wasn't me. Of course it was me. But I wasn't the only one, you know, and I was always the one that got in trouble for talking. And hot yoga, it says over there. So anyway, I've heard that's actually really fun. This one time, she had me go outside during recess and pick like a piece of gum on the brick wall outside and put my nose, like not, you know, into the gum, but like up, like right up against it. Well, my mother happened to show up that day to like bring something to the school or something. Let me just tell you, my mother went off, okay? She was so upset with this teacher, and my mother went off on her. She was like, I am an educator, and I can't remember what she said, but she was like, this is not how you talk to children, and blah, 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 and this is not how you deal with children, and she was like, and this will never happen again, and it didn't. But I still got in trouble for talking. My grades when I was like in elementary school were always like, you know how you didn't get like, back in the day, I don't know what they get now, but we didn't get A's and B's in elementary school. We got S's, like for satisfactory, or, you know, like S+, S-, or whatever. I always got good grades, except in math and science, I never did. I've never been smart at math and science. I mean, like, that's a joke, like, on my videos, but, like, it's for real. I'm just not good at math or science. But, which is weird, because, like, listening to Blake Crouch books about, like, physics, like, I'm real interested in that. So, I kind of, like, somebody sent me that Degrassi book, Physics 4 or something. I think I want to read that book. But anyway, my report cards always were like, Peter is a pleasure to have in class, but he is often gets in trouble for talking to his classmates or something like that. Always on my report cards. Oh wow, look at me now. I talk all the time. I talk for an hour every night on video. This other time too, like this was like more like 3rd grade. Because I remember who it was. I went to high school. Well, I was in high school. I always had a lot of friends that were twins, and in high school I was friends with these 2 twins. But like they were my best friends in high school. But these were 2 other girls that I was friends with in like elementary school. And let's just say their name was like Judy Smith, okay? I know it's not. We all, I think, know by now whenever I say Judy Smith, that's not a real person. But anyway, we were watching this film strip in class, and I actually remember what the film strip was. I tried to look it up a couple years ago because for some reason, I have like a fond memory of this film strip movie. Or do you remember that? Okay, well, do you remember like in elementary school when you go in the class, or in the room, and it was like 4 different classrooms, but they were separated by those like huge like things, those pin boards. Do you know what I'm talking about? So it would be like if you were in 3rd grade, it'd be like 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, and 3-4. Do you remember that? I don't know how I just remembered that I was 3-1, but I was, and I was in the first room when you went to the right. But anyway, so like every once in a while, they would have us like all the 3s, 3rd grade, sit and like watch a movie together. So we were watching, I mean, this is called getting called out by your teacher, okay? Imagine me being ridiculed anyway for being this effeminate kid that always had like my polo shirts buttoned to the top with like a cute little sweater vest over it. My mom dressed me so nice, to my detriment, I think. The girls would always say, "You dress so nice. You always look so nice." But anyway, we were sitting there, and I remember exactly who it was. The film strip was, I wish I could find what this movie is called. It's a Disney movie, and I think because later, like, I found the music. I think the music is Appalachian Spring by Aaron Copland, which I love that piece of music. But it's about how, like, the winter melts into spring. I don't know what it is, but it's all, like, one of those, like, old Disney, not like a Disney cartoon, but, like, do you guys remember what I'm talking about? And it would be, like, in the springtime, you know, the winter starts to melt, and the snows come down, and then it would, like, have the music, and then it would show, like, the trickling streams and all that kind of stuff, and the animals, but anyway, we were sitting there, and I was braiding this girl's hair. I could do, let me just tell you, back then even, okay, I could do like a mean fishtail, French braid, whatever you wanted. I didn't even know it was called a fishtail, but I could do all of it because I had babysitters and they would have me braid their hair, and I loved to braid hair. I loved to braid hair back in the day, and I would braid my mom's hair and everything. So anyway, I was braiding, we were sitting on the floor, you know, this girl was sitting in front of me. All the girls always wanted me to braid their hair, and this teacher threw up the lights. "Peter Monn, this is not beauty shop. Could you please stop braiding Judy Smith's hair?" I was horrified. I was like, oh my God, my teachers. So, you know, of course, then everybody was like, oh, Peter's gonna go, he's gonna work in a beauty shop. I should have worked in a beauty shop. I would have bankrolled in a beauty shop. Everybody that I know that's ever been a stylist loves it and makes tons of money. I should have been a hairstylist. You know, that's like one of the things that's interesting to me is like when I was in high school, like I was never really suggested like trade, like different, you know, like different trades to go into, like, you know, that you could go to like a technical school, or you could go to like hair school, or you could work in a factory, or, you know, like I was never, like, none of those options were ever presented to me by the school that I went to. And, you know, I think that's interesting in retrospect. Like, I didn't know that maybe those were things that I wanted to go into. You know what I mean? Like, and today, I feel like we have so many different things that, educational things, you know, like here in Indianapolis, there's culinary school, there's computer programming school. I mean, these are not like a college, but they're still, you know, culinary school. We have, you know, massage therapy school, which I would never want to do that. But, you know, hair school, some great hair schools, you know, in Indianapolis and across the country. You know, there's so many different options for what you could do, and art school, things like that. I didn't know that those were even options for me back. I mean, I had no idea, you know? So anyway, I probably would have been like that beauty shop statement, like, stuck with me for a long time. Like, that really bothered me. And I think, like, after that, like, I can remember not even wanting to, like, braid my mom's hair because I was so embarrassed. And I probably would never have gone to, I mean, like, when I was in high school, though, I do remember, like, high school going into college, I remember, like, thinking, you are super gay if you go to hair school. Like, I remember thinking that, like, or you're super gay if you're a hairstylist. And my hairstylist that I had in high school, because I went to the same hairstylist that my stepmom did, and he wasn't super effeminate, like, not super effeminate. I mean, he girled it up and stuff like that. And he is actually part of the reason why I came out, because so when I started going out, I got a fake ID, and I'd only gone out a couple times, but I ran into him, and he said something to me about it. And so I was like, I have to say, like, even in the midst of my addiction back then, I did make some wise choices. Like, I thought things through. And I think that's actually, like a gift that my parents gave me, is to like kind of think some things through and be respectful to them on some degree. Like, when I was in the midst of my addiction, I didn't really realize the choices that I was making. I mean, like, had I looked at it, I would have been like, yeah, this is disrespectful to my parents. But like, I didn't like think I was outwardly being disrespectful to my parents. And I was pretty respectful, and like to my teachers, and I was always taught to respect my elders and things like that. So when I knew, I was afraid he was going to tell my stepmom that he had seen me out. And so I remember thinking to myself, I don't care who finds out. When I graduated from high school, this is where I was at. I mean, literally, like, the day after I graduated from high school, this is where, like, when we talk about the It Gets Better project, is it, like, going out of focus? When we talk about the It Gets Better project, like, I'm a big believer that, I think it's a great program, and it's a great idea and all this kind of stuff, but we don't really teach, like, kids how it gets better. Well, for me, it got better the day after I graduated from high school. I mean, like, literally, in all honesty, I was like, I really did not care anymore. I was like, you know what? I don't care who knows. As long as my parents hear it from me, I don't care about the rest of it. I'm not living my life like this anymore. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of not being able to be myself. And it was truly, truly liberating. Like, it was really liberating. And, so I did. So I came out on my 18th birthday, I came out to my parents, and, yeah, he was a big part of that. And then we became friends, like, because I would see him out and stuff like that. And I went to him for probably another, 2 years, until I started going to this woman that her salon was downtown, and all my friends lived downtown, and they all went to her. So we would, like, all go and hang out there at that salon, and so I started going to her instead. The salon, I remember, was called Downtown Studio. I don't know how I remember that. She was so fun. I wonder what happened to her. She was a lot older, though, than me. If I was 20, she was probably 50. God, it's so weird when I think back on some of that. Sometimes it seems like it was just yesterday, and sometimes it seems like it was, like, literally, like, 30 years ago, which it was. And you know what's so strange? It's like, when I watch Pose reminds me so much of when I came out, because Pose takes place in 1990. I came out in 1990. So the music, the cultural references, it's interesting. We were watching something the other day, and we were watching Pose the other day, and something about their fashion, I said to Alex, I said, that's a little off from what I remember. And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, I don't remember us, like, being really like that. Like, that was a little bit, I don't know, like, dated for us. What was it that they were wearing in the show? Oh, this one kid had this polo shirt on, but it wasn't like a Ralph Lauren polo shirt, not that it would matter, but it was like an off-brand, and it looked like very something more like late 70s. It did not look like you would have worn it, and you would have worn it in 1990. I feel like sometimes on that show, they missed the mark by just a little bit. But I will tell you what's funny is, like, some of the drag songs that they do on there and stuff like that, or they talk about, like, some of the songs, like, take me back. Like, they did, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but they had 2 episodes ago, it was a fantastic episode. It was an important episode. And they played the Stephanie Mills song, I Never Knew Love Like This Before. I actually did that on my live stream tonight. And, like, I remember drag queens doing that song. I remember going out to my very first gay bar and everything. And it was a drag bar. It was a drag show. Is that the very first time that I ever went out? Yeah. I think I've even told that story on here before. It's sad because there was like 3 or 4 guys that I was really close to when I first came out. And like, I know where one of them is. I always had a crush on him, and we're still friends today. And he has like a real serious boyfriend or husband, or I don't know. And they're a really cute couple. They've been together about as long as Alex and I have, if not longer. The last time I saw him, actually, was Alex and I went to Louisville, Kentucky, to the Connection with his friend. And that was before she was married and he had a baby, and now she lives in LA. So that would have been 6 or 7, 8 years ago. And that was the last time I saw him. And, we ran into him there. He doesn't live in Louisville, but he was there with a friend. He, I swear to God, has not aged one day since we were 20 years old. All of us with fake IDs going into those bars. They so did not care either. Too, like, I don't know why this is so strange to me, but like, I remember bars had carry out back in the day. Like, we used to do carry out liquor at the end of the night. Like, you could do it up to a certain time, like 2 o'clock, I think. I know that like in Indiana, like, they could serve liquor until 2 o'clock. I don't know if that's changed, but that's how it used to be, and then they closed at 3. So up till 2 o'clock you could do carry out, and you could do like a 6-pack or something like that. My old friend that I used to live with, that she and I were roommates together, she lives in Germany now, but oh my God, we had so much fun back in the day together. And she's somebody that, like, she is somebody that we used to drink together, but then she turned around and became extremely supportive of me and my sobriety as well. And I mean to tell you, we used to drink together, like, drink like nobody's business. I mean, like, if you ask any of the group of people that I used to hang out with back in the day about her, they would have been like, yeah, she had problems too. But I don't think she really did. I don't know. But anyway, she would wear, when we went out, she would wear a white tank top, cut off jean shorts. She was real cute too. Really, like, nice body. She worked out all the time at the gym. And, looks like Priscilla Presley, and she had she dyed her hair like burgundy-ish red, and it was real long, and then she had real short bangs. And I mean, this is the early 90s. This is where I feel like they missed the mark a little bit of like some of the like the style stuff on Pose, because we were a little bit more advanced than they show on the show, unless I just think in my head that we were more advanced and we really weren't, you know. But she would wear out cut off jean shorts, and then she would wear like either like I can't believe this, like literally like almost stiletto heels, okay? Or she, yeah, like stiletto heels, and then she would wear a white tank top and a biker jacket. She had this black biker jacket. It was mine, actually, and she started wearing it. We would leave the bar, and she would like pull the drink out from her jacket. I'd be like, girl, where did you get that drink? And she'd be like, I just put it inside my pocket when we were leaving. And I would be like, do you have another one? And she'd be like, no. Some biker jacket that I had, I left behind, and like my mom, like in some move, I like, well, that would have been after that because I lived on my own, but somehow I ended up at my mom's house, and my mom started wearing this biker jacket. She would wear it all over the place. My mom was so cute. So today, we had such a great time today. Well, Alex had some meeting stuff that he had to do this morning, work stuff. And I slept in, and then he came home. How did we do this? What did we do? I went and I ran some errands. I got coffee. I had to pick up my medicine, some other stuff. And then I did a really long Q&A. I was gonna do a response to Shane Dawson's video, but the video is like an hour long, and I got like halfway into it, and I was like, I'm gonna make this video on Sunday or Monday. But we have like really extensive plans tomorrow. I forgot how busy we were this weekend. And Alex just said to me, he was like, tonight before I left, he was like, he went out for his friend's birthday, but he said, we don't have anything this week or next weekend. I was like, yet. And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, yet. Which is funny because in recovery, like, yet stands for, like, you're eligible to. Because, like, if it hasn't happened to you, it could. You know? And, like, with drinking things, like, my mom used to say, like, she hadn't had a DUI, and then she would say yet, you know? But anyway, like, if she went back out, it could happen again. But, I was like, oh, we don't have any plans? It's like, yeah, because this weekend we have so many plans. So tonight we did this thing, which I'm going to tell you guys about in just a second. That was really, really fun. Well, I talked about it last night. We went to the American Songbook thing. I kind of had forgotten that we had to do that until last night. And then today, or tomorrow, we're going out to brunch, and we're supposed to go out to brunch with our friends, this one group of friends. I think our other friends are going to be there, and the couple that we're supposed to go out with, we haven't seen them in forever, and they're like marathon runners, and they do all these like Iron whatever those things are called. They do all those kinds of things. So, but we had made plans with Melissa and Jason to go see The Lion King tomorrow afternoon. So Alex tonight was like, okay, we're going to go to brunch at like 2 to 3, and then we have to leave because we have to be at the movie by 3:30. And he was like, is that okay? And I said, well, and he was like, what? He goes, we can do brunch the next weekend with them if you want to. And I said, I want to go to brunch. I said, I just don't want to be like super hurried. Like, it just sounds to me like we're going to be really rushing, you know, to like get everything done. And I just don't want to, like, we haven't seen our friends in a while. If we sit there for 2 hours, I'd like to sit there for 2 hours and talk with them. He was like, yeah, you're probably right. So he canceled our brunch for tomorrow. We're still going to brunch. We're just not going to brunch with them. And then we're going to meet with Melissa and Jason to go see The Lion King. And Melissa already bought the tickets. I'm not super excited about it. I am glad that I saw The Lion King finally, so I know like what is going on, what the H is going on. Because like I had no clue before. Although it was funny, I had this thought today, like when I was in the kitchen, like cleaning stuff up. I was like, I do not remember the song Hakuna Matata or whatever. I don't remember that from The Lion King. Is it in The Lion King? I know it is, but I don't remember that being sung in The Lion King. And I sat there and watched the whole thing. So anyway, I don't remember that part. I didn't dislike it. I just liked Aladdin better. So we're going to see that. And yeah, and then I have a video made. I did a Q&A for my Peter Monn channel today that I'm going to post, and then the vlog, and then I don't have any other videos filmed for tomorrow. I'm going to, my Peterisms, my booktube video, and I probably won't do a review tomorrow. Well, I'll probably review The Lion King on Monday. And then the Peterisms and the Peter Likes Books video tomorrow. I would like to put something up for that because I have two things. I want to do like preparing for the reading rush. I want to do that video for my booktube channel, and then I didn't do a meditation video today, so I want to do that tomorrow. But we won't get home till 5 or 6 probably, so it'll be late when I'm filming those. And I would like to relax, maybe go for a late night swim before reading rush starts tomorrow night. Oh, and I have to finish this book because there's no way that I can finish it tonight because I have like 3.5 hours to finish this book, and it is already oh, it's gonna stop, hold on. And it is already 2:45 and I can't stay up, you know, that late, but Hakuna Matata. Yeah. So tonight we actually did not go with Alex's bosses. We took his mom and grandma, and then we met one of Alex's coworkers and her daughter, and we went to the American Songbook thing, which was fantastic. So good. And so what it is it's like these kids apply for it. It's some like scholarship competition, but they don't do like first, second, and third places. It's interesting. They do like, the awards they do is like, well, they call it the American Songbook Youth Ambassador, and it's like the young person that wins it every year. And Melissa Manchester was there tonight. Alex was like, who is that? I was like, Melissa Manchester. I used to listen to all of her songs when I was growing up. My baby takes the morning train. Wasn't that Melissa Manchester? Or was that Sheila? Who was that? Do you guys, that wasn't Melissa Manchester, was it? Now I have to know. I have to pull into this neighborhood here and see who Melissa Manchester is. Alex is out for his friend's birthday, and I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't come home yet, because like about half an hour ago he said, I think I'm gonna Uber home. He goes, I'm getting kind of tired. But then he texted me and he said they were going to some place called Tin Roof or something. I think these trees are pretty in here where they have them all lit up. Was that Melissa Manchester? What was that song? I think that was Sheila, why can't I think of her name? Well, I'm gonna look it up right now, so I'm gonna tell you guys and you're gonna all know. I know some of you out there are like, it wasn't Melissa Manchester, but I'm gonna find out which Melissa Manchester, what this song was called. Oh, there's my channel, okay. Morning, oh shoot. Sheena Easton, that's who sang that Morning Train song, okay. I used to love that song. I had the 45. I actually have the 45 in my basement. Should I do a video of all my 45s on here? Would you guys love that? Melissa Manchester. She was nominated for an Academy Award. Did you know that? Don't cry out loud. Is that the one? Yes. Ice Castle's theme. That's what she... What's that song called? The Ice Castle. I can't play it. Do you know what that Don't Cry Out Loud is from? Okay, hold on a second. What is the Ice Castle's theme called? Oh my god, every girl in the world in elementary school liked that. Do you guys remember that? What was that called? Ice Castle's theme. Through the Eyes of Love. Is that what it's called? Okay, that Don't Cry Out Loud. Did you guys ever see that movie called Drop Dead Gorgeous? And that poor, sadly, beauty queen that was so anorexic, she was in a wheelchair in the hospital and they had to like push her around on stage. Do you guys remember that? Denise Williams was so funny in that movie. She goes to visit her in the hospital and the girl has no idea who she is. And she goes, who are you? Who are you? And she goes, this is a little funny little game that we play. Do you guys watch her on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? She's totally not what I expected her to be. But anyway, I did love that movie, Wild Things, though, back in the day with her and Neve Campbell. Whatever happened to Neve Campbell? Whatever happened to... Did I say Denise Williams, the singer? That's not what I meant. What's her name? Denise Richards. That's Denise Williams, the singer. Do you remember that? What was that song from Footloose that Denise Williams used to sing? Let's hear it for the boy. Is that the name of the song? Let's hear it for the boy. I hated that movie. I hated that movie so much. And whenever I say that, Tanya always gets so finished because I love that movie. And I go, why do you love that movie? And she goes, because that was me growing up. Because Tanya grew up Pentecostal and she wasn't allowed to listen to any music or anything like that. And she's so proud. Tanya's so proud that she got best dressed because she went to like a regular high school. She didn't go to like, you know, like a Pentecostal school. I don't even think there is Pentecostal schools. But anyway, maybe there are. I don't know. But anyway, she was like, I got best dressed and I was Pentecostal and I had to wear my hair like all up in a bun and straight down my back. And she was like, I wore penny loafers every day. And she always tells me what she had. And we're long skirts, but everybody said I was best dressed. She was like, and I always wanted to dance, but I couldn't go to any of the school dances or anything. So anyway. I wonder if she would ever tell her story on here about that. Her story about that is really interesting. About growing up that way, because she didn't always grow up that way. That's the thing. And I think it's interesting that my best friend and I, my best Heartstone, I mean, she and I, and she's not Pentecostal today, but she has, you know, some pretty strong spiritual beliefs about things. And do you know it's interesting that Tanya and I are both people that have some very strong beliefs about things in the world, and we have like only had like one argument in 22, 23 years. Isn't that crazy? And it wasn't even about like an issue or anything like that. And we don't ever agree to disagree. Like, that's the other thing. Like, I don't ever go, okay, we'll just agree to disagree. And she'll be like, yeah. Like, it's never that. We always hear each other's sides and say like, oh, I never really thought of it that way. Or, yeah, Tanya, but like, you know, maybe you need to look at it this way. Or she'll say, you know, Peter, maybe could you please look at it from this point of view? Like, we're so respectful of each other in our conversations that we've never really done that before, you know? Like, had an argument over like an issue or something, a belief system. And I don't think that you have to in friendships. You can like have your opinion and listen to things, you know? Okay, so we went to this thing tonight called, oh my God, the battery is gonna die. Are you kidding me? Well, thankfully I have another battery, but I'm also not gonna make this vlog long tonight, like I said. I'm gonna talk until the battery dies, and then I'm gonna, did I not bring the other battery? I know I did. Here it is, it's right here. So we went to the American Songbook tonight. It was at the Palladium in Carmel, and it's hosted by Michael Feinstein every year, and he's like some big deal. I guess he used to be on Broadway or whatever. So they give out a bunch of awards, and so it's 40 kids that apply for this thing, and they're like the best singers in the country, but they sing all like old standards, like Barbra Streisand, Ella Fitzgerald, like all musical, they're all like musical theater kids. And I mean, these kids, you guys, or like jazz, they sing a lot of jazz, less, you know, stuff like that. They are unbelievable. This is like the third or fourth time that we've gone. And I will say tonight, like the picks were interesting to me. Like they picked really obscure songs that I had never heard of before. Not that that matters, but I hadn't heard of it. But like, and the audience is so crazy too. The audience is like 80%. They're all like, like people that are a lot older. That like this was the music that they listened to growing up, and but like he's always he tells these stories, like when each kid sings a song, and he'll be like, this was Irving Berlin's favorite song, and then he'll tell like some joke about Irving Berlin, and the whole audience like laughs, and it's like, okay, like Irving Berlin, World War like II times, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like the music is really dated, but it's so beautiful, you guys. Like the music is just, these kids are unbelievable singers, you know, and just you get to hear their stories a little bit. They talk a little bit about what they want to do, like when they graduate and where they want to go to school and all this kind of stuff. I mean, these kids are going to like some incredible schools in the country, and they're just really neat kids, you know, and it's just, and their parents are so proud of them. You can see that too. And they were talking about, like, they had the parents stand up and they said something about, you know, when your kid is, this girl was talking about how she, like, her parents would laugh because they listened to, like, Journey and stuff, and she was, like, 12 years old listening to, like, Judy Garland, like, you know, standards, and, so they were saying, like, how weird it is for family members, like, when all of a sudden you have this child that, like, you know, was a little kid singing, and then all of a sudden they're singing like they're literally like Broadway stars. And when I tell you that these kids sing like they're Broadway stars, I'm telling you that these kids sing like they won an Emmy. I mean, like, they are, or not an Emmy, like a Tony. Like, they are unbelievable singers. Unbelievable. And it's not like an American Idol kind of thing, which I love American Idol. I love that singing, I like any kind of singing competition. It's not like that. It's like, I mean, like this one kid tonight, he sang, oh shoot, what's the song? Because I know the song. Well, his second song I didn't know. There was 2 guys and there was 8 girls. They were all of them so good. He sang this Nat King Cole song. The control that these kids have of their voices and just being like, I mean, it just was incredible. And of course, they're all dressed really, really nice. Like, all the guys have... Okay, changed the battery. But all of the kids were dressed so nice. I mean, these girls had some beautiful dresses on. And, where's that Laneige lip balm? And all the guys had tuxes on. It was just really fun. It was really nice. something that Alex and I try to do. I was thinking about that tonight. It was like, because there was a part where they like came out and asked for people like, you know, to donate money, obviously, and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, I need to find some organizations that I really want to like donate to. We have a few that Alex and I do together, but I need to find some like organizations that I really believe in. And I'm really a believer in donating to organizations that don't, like they don't have a lot of money. Like they need donations, you know what I mean? Because there's so many organizations out there that have a lot of money, and they have a lot of like national and international sponsors and people that make regular commitments of sponsorships. But then there's a lot of organizations out there that have very little money whatsoever. And I need to look into some things that I really believe in, a couple of them, and get kind of, you know, really involved. And that's been something that I've wanted to do this last year anyway. So now I've got that stupid Melissa Manchester song stuck in my head. But anyway, yeah, it was fun. And then it's so hot. It's 80 degrees right now, and it's like so humid. I love it. But I was thinking tonight, I was like, you know, this is going to be interesting. It's never been this hot reading before late at night, like on the front porch, because Alex goes to bed, so I can't read inside. So if I'm going to read, I'm going to be inside. I'm probably going to be listening to my audiobooks too, because if everything goes as planned, I have 2 audiobooks I want to listen to this week. I'm listening to What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, 2 of my favorite authors. And one of Adam Silvera's books is being made into a movie. I love all of his books, but his books are so great. And I can't remember, is it a movie or a TV show? I cannot remember. I can't remember which one it is either. I can't remember the title of any of his books right now. More Happy Than Not is one of them, but that's not the one that's being made into a movie. I just saw this at Barnes & Noble when I was there, because they had the book and it said like being made into a movie or a TV show. But anyway, this is a book that I've wanted to read for a while, because it's co-authored with Becky Albertalli, who I absolutely love her books as well. And so that's the first audiobook, and then if I finish that, I'm listening to, and I should be able to finish it because it's like 8 hours long, which means it's only 4 hours for me because I listen to them at 2 times speed. And then I'm listening to Karen McManus's Two Can Tell a Lie, I think it's called. I read Two something. I read her book earlier in the year called One of Us Is Lying, and I actually really liked it. A lot of people didn't, but I really liked it. And she has another book coming out soon, and this is her second book. So I'm doing this for Reading Rush. So hopefully I can finish both of those books if I just like diligently listen to the audiobooks versions of it. I'm kind of surprised. Like Zodiac, I'm getting through rather quickly. And then that means I have, 5 other books I have to read for Reading Rush, because it's 7 books. Tonight, Alex goes, 7 books in 7 days, it's a book a day. And I go, yeah. And he goes, you really think that you can read a book a day? And I said, no, but I'm just going to try to read as much as I can. There's also a website for Reading Rush. So if you're going to do Reading Rush, you should sign up on the website, and then you can look me up. And I have a page over there where you can see all my badge. So like for every thing you pass, you get a badge, and so you go over there. It's just fun. It's just more fun for reading. I'm excited about it. And yeah, and I'm about almost halfway into Zodiac. I like it. I'm really surprised, because Mel and I are usually like spot on together about what we like or don't like about the books that we're reading. And so she told me that she doesn't love Zodiac. I think she must be done with it by now. But she told me that she didn't love it, and that it was different than a lot of one of the other books that we've read. And it's true, it is different than a lot of the things that we've read before. It's a lot more details and facts, but I don't mind it, and I like it. And it's very interesting to me. It reminds me a lot of the Ted Bundy case, and it reminds me a lot of how The Stranger Beside Me was written by Ann Rule. There's something about it that seems similar. It might be because it's the same time period. I don't know, but one of the things that's really weird to me as I'm sitting there listening to it, this is of course where my speculative mind goes, is that it almost makes me wonder if the Zodiac Killer is not the Golden State Killer. That he came later as the Golden State Killer and moved. I don't know what it is, but it is something about when you're reading this book, that the way they describe certain things about him, and it's not like I cracked the code. I mean, let's just be for real. Oh, I listened to 2 audiobooks and I figured out who the Zodiac Killer is now. But it's very interesting when you are like reading it. It's like there's so many similarities, even kind of in the areas. Except for that, the Golden State Killer was more Southern California. But I think they both hit Valero. Or maybe it's Valero County in one or something. I don't know, but it's interesting to me. The other thing that's interesting to me is if you've read I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Obsession for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara. And if you've read Paul Holes, where they talk about how they found out about the DNA and all this kind of stuff, they speculate that we may be able to find out who the Zodiac Killer is through DNA testing, which would be really, really interesting if that were the case. You know, that we found out. I need to get a Diet Coke while I'm listening to this audiobook. I'm going to start driving in the direction of McDonald's. But that would be really interesting if... intriguing, you know, if they could figure out who the Zodiac Killer was by DNA testing, which they started with the Golden State Killer. Are there any updates on that case? Like, I don't know anything. I haven't heard anything about that case recently, and I don't know anything more about it. I'm actually going to pull in here in a second and look. Yeah, so anyway, but when Alex and I went to the singing competition the first year, I remember the girl that won, she had this like real like earthy voice, and she sounded like that Nora, do you remember that Nora, what's her face, singer? Whatever happened to her too? I used to love her so much back in the day, but she sounded like her. I can't think of what that Nora girl's name is, woman. The singer, Nora something. But anyway, not Nora Impure, the DJ, I love her. Not Nora Roberts, the romance writer. Nora somebody, I can't think of what her name is. Nora Jones, is that her name? I think it's Nora Jones. But anyway, but like every song was like some like old Barbara Streisand song, like Where Will You Be in the Autumn Time? And I loved like every song. Like I literally Shazammed like every song that they sang that first year. This year it was like... I mean, they were amazing, but it wasn't songs that I would, like, want to listen to 100 times, you know? It was like, I don't know. They all I felt like I was sitting there watching a musical that I'd never heard of before. And they're all like, yeah, I picked it from my favorite musical, and the musical's called, you know, Mr. Smith Has a Sunday at the Ice Cream Factory, and it came out in 1946, and I'm like, we're 42, and I'm like, how do you know these musicals? My God, it's no Oklahoma. Let's just be for real. Like, these kids knew their musical theater. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, there was this movie years ago that I loved. Somebody out there when I say this is going to be like, oh my God, I love that movie too. And it was called Camp. Did you guys ever see it? And it was with all these kids who, it was pre-Glee, which is so funny because Glee took off and this movie didn't get a lot of credit. If this movie came out now, it would be like a blockbuster probably, because Glee really did something for musical theater and, you know, Glee clubs and acoustic singing, choirs and all that kind of stuff. Actually, when I was judging for the pageant that I did, I worked with this person that like works in judging for music and stuff, and I said, when Glee came out, did that like really like boost choirs and stuff like that? Like, were people like joining left or right? He goes, oh, like, you have no idea. He was like, it like doubled numbers because people started seeing, you know, like acceptance and, you know, choirs and show choirs, and so all these people started, and I thought that was really cool that a TV show did that, you know? But there was this movie called Camp, and it was about all these kids that go to, I'd love to watch it again, I should watch it again. All these kids that go to musical camp in the summer. I think that one girl, Anna, whatever her name is, from Pitch Perfect, I think she might have been in it, I'm not sure. But it was about all these kids that went to like summer camp, and it was like a performing arts camp, and they were all really into musical theater, like really, really into musical theater. It's such a great movie. If you've never seen it, you should look it up. It's called Camp. But there's a lot of show tunes and stuff in it, but yeah. Okay, well listen, you guys, I am going to get off here, and I am going to, I think this is a little bit, maybe it's probably around 40 minutes or something like that. I'm going to get off here, and I am going to listen to my audiobook so that I can try to get a bunch of it done tonight. So I only have like an hour and a half to listen to tomorrow. So I'm going to get off here now. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. I hope you're having an amazing Sunday, unless you have other plans, but don't. Have the best day. Don't have other plans. Have the best day of your life. Make the most of it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Do something today that will really make you happy and will make today valuable. And yeah, write yourself a letter like, "Dear self," in 5 years, and then date it and put it in an envelope, or a year from now. This is where I want to be in a year, and then write it to yourself, and then a year from now, see if you have accomplished those things. I should do that. I think I'll do that. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Look in the mirror and say it to yourself every day. I love you. I don't have to look in the mirror. I love you, but I will. And pass it on. Believe it in yourself, you know? Believe that you love yourself. Work towards love and self-worth and self-value. It's important. And pass it on to somebody else. Tell somebody else how much they mean to you today and that you love them as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.